Thanks. Well, thanks. Good morning, and thanks for being here. It's a little late start, but we're going to get through this fairly quickly. I'm Ryan Billingham. I'm Communications Director for Wisconsin League of Conservation Voters. I'm joined here. I'm going to make a brief statement, and then we're going to hear from Gary Besaw, the chairman of the Menominee Indian Tribe of Wisconsin. We're going to hear from Michael Kerr from Wisconsin Trout Unlimited, and we're going to hear from Heidi Obrestad. She's the 4th District Alderwoman for Stevens Point, and she's also a member of Wisconsin Trout Unlimited. Assembly Bill 499, the Industrial Acid Mining Bill, is a reckless piece of legislation that will endanger public health and the state's natural environment, which is the engine that drives our $20 billion tourist economy. According to the EPA, sulfide mining is America's most toxic industry. The process creates acid mine drainage, a nasty brew that poisons nearby waters, wildlife, and ecosystems. This acid mine drainage is permanent. Once the process starts, it does not stop. 20 years ago, in a bipartisan effort, Wisconsin passed the Prove It First mining law to protect our state from this threat. That law requires mining companies to offer proof it is possible to operate without poisoning the environment. It's a common sense law that works. No amendments can fix this bill. The repeal of Prove It First will mean that out-of-state polluters will be allowed to crack open our landscape, remove millions of tons of rock, extract a minuscule amount of metal, and then leave us with the toxic waste. Wisconsin League of Conservation Voters and its more than 40,000 members urge legislators to stop this bill before it gets any closer to opening our state to the destructive effects of sulfide mining. Chairman.
Also meet the time when Marknock was powers as Sweden, the total Wasa. My name is Gary Besaw. I'm chairman of the Menominee Nation, and I'm also the secretary treasurer on the executive committee of the Great Lakes Intertribal Council. The Menominee Nation is in opposition to this bill. The Great Lakes Intertribal Council, which includes 10 of the 11 tribes in the state, also opposes repeal of the Prove It First law. The Menominee Nation and Glitzy have both passed resolutions to this effect. The position of the Menominee Nation and Glitzy is not that different than the majority of the people in the state, whether they be native or non-native. An August 2017 poll found that of Wisconsin residents found that 72% of the voters want to keep the existing Prove It First protections from mining. My second point might be that the proposed Back 40 mine project, a metallic mine on the Menominee River on the Wisconsin-Michigan border, is indicative of the public opinion of this dangerous type of mining. On the Back 40 project, in addition to the overwhelming tribal opposition, 6 counties aligned along the waters that would be impacted have passed formal resolutions against the mine. In just those 6 counties, they represent over 7% of the total population of the state. Many proponents of this mining repeal say this is just characteristic of liberal environmentalists. But let this sink in. 5 of the 6 counties opposed to the Back 40 project voted in favor of President Donald Trump, Senator Ron Johnson, Congressman Mike Gallagher, and Governor Scott Walker. 5 of those 6 counties are across the board Republican controlled, yet they voted in opposition to the Back 40. Third, the Prove It First law was put in place 20 years ago with overwhelming bipartisan support. We come to our senses and realize, as is the legacy of our native thinking, that we cannot ruin this world for our babies, for our kids, for our grandkids, so that we might have wealth. Our wealth is our babies. Lastly, counties, cities, towns, local officials, and many Wisconsinites oppose this effort. Passing this bill would amount to nothing more than a corporate handout at the cultural, financial, environmental expense of Wisconsin residents and counties. Nothing has changed since this bill went into effect 20 years ago. Let's hope that our legislature recognizes that. Nataniwe Makana.
Thank you, Gary. My name is Mike Coor. I'm the vice chair for Wisconsin Trout Unlimited. Trout Unlimited is our nation's leading cold water conservation organization. Our members value the recreational opportunities that the woods and waters of Wisconsin offer. It turns out that sportsmen and women from around the country value our natural resources as well. Recent reports show Wisconsin ranks third in the number of non-resident anglers and second in the number of non-resident hunters. All told, economic impact of hunting and fishing in Wisconsin is over $6 billion annually. Wisconsin's Prove It First mining law has been safeguarding our woods and waters for almost 2 decades now. AB 499 is a risky proposal that could jeopardize some of our largest economies: agriculture, tourism, and outdoor recreation. If we're serious about creating a 21st century economy that our children and our grandchildren can prosper in, we need to be looking forward, not into the past. With all that's at stake, how can we not ask a mining company to prove that they can operate safely in Wisconsin before handing out a mining permit? Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Good morning. My name is Heidi Obrestad, and I'm the Diversity Initiative Coordinator for Wisconsin Trout Unlimited and the 4th District Alderwoman for the City of Stevens Point. I need to share some of my concerns with this proposed mining bill. As a citizen of Stevens Point, I'm incredibly disappointed in the response from my Senator, Patrick Testin, regarding SB 395, and I'm hoping for responsive elected officials in today's hearing for AB 499. As an active member of our Central Wisconsin community, there's no economic gain for our area from the proposed mining that will be allowed with the passage of this bill. We don't have any mining companies or any mining equipment companies in our area. With no economic benefit, why should we agree to take on the known risks of mining pollution? As an alderwoman for the city, directly downstream from a proposed mine location, the absolute best case scenario for us would be continually worrying about receiving polluted water from upstream. The dangers of mining pollution last long after a mine has closed. This decision won't help us financially. Why take this type of risk when we have so much at stake? As an avid angler and a dedicated member of Wisconsin Trout Unlimited, my colleagues in conservation groups join us in overwhelming opposition to this bill, and we have a strong basis for our concerns. I don't understand why this bill is being rushed through the system, even though an overwhelming majority of Wisconsinites are opposed. It's unusual to have a hearing on a Friday. What's the rush? Wisconsinites will be the ones left trying to clean up this mess, and local officials will be the ones required to continue to provide clean water to our constituents. I hope that my legislators can stand up for our district and help me make sure that we have clean water in central Wisconsin.
Thank you all who attended. We can take some questions. I know the hearing has already started, but we'd all be happy to field any questions if you have any.
Yeah, so some amendments were approved at the last committee executive session. Does that help the sewage company? Are you concerned at all about this bill? I mean, you have 2 that relate to the irrevocable trust. 1 about technology used at the site. I guess one more. Would you hope to see in terms of amendments?
Sure. We hope to see there's no repeal of the Prove It First mining law. That's the only solution. The amendments are token amendments. They do nothing to stop the fundamental problem, which is the repeal of a law that's protected Wisconsin for 2 generations. For a generation, sorry.
Chairman, the argument was that this will bring economic development, jobs. Your reservation obviously has had unemployment issues. What about the economic development angle?
The economic development studies that had been done through through the actual consultant, had come back and said we were tasked to look at the positives that would come forward on the back 40. We were not told to give the net impact or the long-term impact, but to give just specific analysis of jobs created, of taxes paid, but not speak about things like loss of property value, loss of tourism capacity, any type of taxpayer funding that might be needed to remediate pollution from the site. None of those were taken into consideration. So when we talk about the back 40, that speaks in a microcosm to really what this bigger picture would be. We've seen it across Canada, and in the West, it plays out the same.
Any further questions? All right, well, we'll get to the hearing.
Thank you.